Welcome back to The Explainer. So what happens when the smartest people in the world are all wrong? Today, we're jumping into this epic story of divine intervention and how one man goes from a forgotten prisoner to, well, basically the ruler of the most powerful empire on earth.
All right, let's get right into it. This one line right here sets the whole stage. See, this isn't just a story about random luck or a series of happy accidents. No, this is about a deliberate, almost strategic takedown of an entire empire's way of thinking, all to clear the path for something or someone completely new.
So our story kicks off with the most powerful man on the planet, the Pharaoh himself. And he's got a problem. He's being haunted by these riddles, these visions in his sleep that he just can't shake. And they're not just bad dreams. They're the kind of thing that could shake his entire kingdom to its core.
He has these two dreams, right? And they're both hammering home the same terrifying idea. A vision of incredible prosperity and abundance that gets completely swallowed up by total devastation. It's this perfect, chilling image of plenty being devoured by ruin, leaving absolutely nothing behind.
And here's where it gets really weird. You've got these healthy cows, right? They get eaten by these sickly, skinny ones. But the skinny cows don't get any fatter. They stay just as ruined as before. It's this bizarre image of hunger that can't be satisfied. And that's the detail that tells Pharaoh, okay, this is something else. This isn't just a dream.
So what does he do? He does what any king would. He calls in the A-team, all the wise men, the magicians, the smartest people in Egypt. He's expecting clear answers, but what he gets is, well, it's a total catastrophic failure.
The first group steps up and they're like, oh, the 7 good cows are 7 daughters you'll have, but they'll die. And Pharaoh just knows it's wrong, you know? It feels hollow, like they're just making stuff up to fit the numbers. It doesn't solve that deep gut feeling that something is terribly wrong.
So he calls in a second group. Maybe they'll do better. Nope. They start throwing out all these different ideas, kings, princes, cities, but none of it sticks. Their answers are all over the place, and it just makes things even more chaotic and confusing. And with every single wrong answer, it's about kings. No, it's about queens. Pharaoh's frustration just explodes. He can feel it. He knows they're missing the point. It's like a divine message is being garbled by human ego, and he has had enough. His patience just completely snaps.
And this is the key moment. Pharaoh realizes this isn't just incompetence, it's something bigger. It's like the wisdom of his entire empire has been supernaturally blocked. And his reaction? It's swift and it is absolute. The decree goes out. Death to all the magicians.
So the executions actually start. Panic is ripping through the palace, and right then, a voice speaks up, someone from the court's past, a forgotten memory that offers one last desperate chance.
It's the chief butler, and he steps up and basically confesses, look, I messed up. I forgot about this guy 2 years ago. He tells Pharaoh about a Hebrew servant he met in prison, a guy named Joseph who could interpret dreams flawlessly. He's not pointing to another wise man, he's pointing to a prisoner in a dungeon.
So Joseph is rushed out of the prison. They shave him, clean him up, give him fresh clothes, and he's brought from the absolute darkness of a dungeon straight into the blinding, overwhelming light of the royal court. I mean, can you even imagine that transition?
He's standing there in front of this insane throne made of gold and silver, this ladder of pure power. But when Pharaoh asks him to interpret the dream, Joseph says something really bold. He basically says, it's not me. The answers, they belong to God.
And boom, just like that you see the difference. The wise men brought total chaos. Joseph brings crystal clarity. He lays it all out. The 2 dreams are one message. There will be 7 years of incredible abundance, followed by 7 years of a horrible famine. And it's not just an interpretation, it's a survival plan.
But Pharaoh's not totally convinced. He needs a sign, proof. So Joseph gives him one, and it is shocking. He says, right now, as we speak, your wife is giving birth to a son, but your firstborn son is dying. And in that one awful moment, with a birth and a death happening at the exact same time, Joseph's authority is sealed.
Okay, so now Pharaoh is a believer. He knows this is the guy who has to lead them. But there's one last problem, a big one. It's a rule, an ancient law, and his own court isn't going to let it slide.
The officers all object. They're like, hold on, this guy's a Hebrew. He only speaks one language. Our law says you can't be second in command unless you know all 70 languages of the world. Joseph's an outsider. According to the law, he's disqualified. It really seems like game over.
But, you know, when divine intervention is a play, earthly laws don't stand much of a chance. That very night, an angel shows up in Joseph's cell and, in one supernatural download, just teaches him everything he needs to know.
By morning, Joseph, who's even given a new name, Jehoshaphat, knows all 70 languages. Just like that. The final roadblock? Gone. Not because of human cleverness, but because of a miracle. He's ready.
All right, let's get to the final scene. This is the big one. Joseph walks back into that throne room, but this time, he's not a prisoner hoping to survive. He's a master of nations, and he is ready to step into his destiny.
And he starts to climb those 70 steps up to the throne, that ladder of power. And at every single step, he speaks in a different language. Can you picture the scene? The entire court is just completely floored. They're watching this divine flex of wisdom, and they are speechless.
Pharaoh sees it for what it is. This isn't just a smart guy. This is a man with the Spirit of God in him. And without hesitation, he promotes him on the spot. He gives Joseph his own ring, making him second in command with near total power over all of Egypt.
So think about that. In the span of a single day, Joseph goes from a forgotten prisoner to the second most powerful man in the world's greatest empire. His authority is absolute, it's undeniable. What a turnaround. And this whole story leaves us with this one big question. It's not just about one guy's incredible journey. It's about what happens when an entire empire's confidence in its own wisdom, its own laws, its own systems is completely and deliberately shattered just to make way for something new.